Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to KGX to the Z TV. Yo, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, turn those notifications on. What did I get back from the gym and see all over the Twitter timeline, folks? Andrey Santos to Manchester United. Man United have opened up talks with Chelsea Football Club to acquire the 22-year-old Brazilian midfielder. Um, Chelsea bought him. We bought him 3 seasons ago. Had 2 years of loans. Strasbourg did very well 2 seasons ago. Incorporated into the first team last year. Scattered minutes. First half of the season under Maresca, didn't play too much. Then started to get a little bit of an uptick in playing time underneath Rossinier, and then sort of became that third choice, fourth choice midfielder behind Enzo, Caicedo, sometimes Reece James in the midfield, and then kind of battling it out for minutes with the ghost of Romeo Lavia. And then, of course, ahead of Dario Isugo, who didn't get too much playing time last year because he was injured for most of the season. So, shocker, ring a bell. But quick thoughts on this. This isn't the first time that Man United have inquired about Santos. They did it last year, last summer when he was coming off of a good loan at Strasbourg. I think he was Strasbourg's player of the season. I think he was the captain that year, captain of the under 20 Brazilian squad, national team. Got some call ups, but unfortunately didn't make the World Cup because Ancelotti decided to go with dinosaurs like Fabinho, Casemiro, who, in fairness to Casemiro, had a pretty decent season for Man United. Very good second half of the season under Carrick, but poor season under Ruben Amorim, like a lot of Man United players did. So Casemiro is one of the goats midfielders of this generation over the last 15, 20 years. Right, won it all with Real Madrid. We know what he's about, so I can understand that. But nonetheless, this is a midfielder that's sort of a all action midfielder, box to box a little bit. Can play the six, can play the eight. Decent going forward, even though last year wasn't was a little wasteful in the final third with some of his actions. Didn't get the goals that I thought he would get, but also again, first real season in England, first season at Chelsea Football Club, under the lights, under the pressure at Stamford Bridge. Had a wasted half the season loan at Nottingham Forest, but that was just poor on our part in loaning him out to a team that was signing players left, right, and center at the time. But Andrey Santos, man, this is a curious one, right? I think if most Chelsea fans had a gun to their head and said, which midfielder would we want to get rid of, Andrey Santos would not be topping that list, folks. Top of that list, maybe Enzo with all the twerking for Real Madrid. Probably Lavia because he hasn't played a full 90 yet for Chelsea Football Club. And then maybe Asugo, although most folks would say, you know what, let's chill with Asugo. Let's just send him out on loan, let him get some game time and things like that. But rumored price tag, I've seen 50, 55 million, but I'm going to be honest with you, man. If Matthias Fernandez and some of these other guys are going for 85, he's a 60 pound million pound midfielder at the least, maybe some add-ons in there, right? Premier League tax, a little bit of Manchester United tax, right? We've done deals with Manchester United over the past 3-4 years, right? Got Sancho in on loan. They sent us Garnacho. We've sent them Mason Mount. We've sent them in the past Matic. We've sent them Mata. So we've done some deals with our rivals, just like we've done some deals with Arsenal over the years, and Kai Havertz and Nani and David Luiz, Peter Cech, and all those guys. So two trains of thought here for me. One is, are you, and let me know in the comments if you think so as well, are you ready to, I don't want to say give up on Santos, but are you ready to move on from Santos, right? And the second train of thought is, are you ready to strengthen a Premier League rival, right? And I know I just mentioned about, selling to Arsenal, selling to Man United and other clubs. But this is a club that we would definitely be competing with next year for top four, top five, whatever, top six, however it shakes out in the Champions League spots. Um, Very young player, right? Durable player, right? He's not like Mason Mount, where Mason Mount was starting to break down. He's not on high wages at all. Um, he doesn't seem like he's adamant about leaving, although I'm sure he would like to get regular minutes or more minutes, right? Just like any young player would, right? Um, he probably sees Caicedo and sees Enzo and sees Lavia and maybe sees some of the rumors to Adam Wharton and other folks, and is probably thinking, do I see a future here? Is it worth my time to sit here, waste valuable years, maybe a year or two in development to see if I'm going to get regular minutes, right? New manager coming in, one that's not familiar with him, unlike Liam Rossinier, who was familiar with him at Strasbourg. So maybe there's something in the back of his mind saying, new manager, is he Jabi Alonso going to rate me? Is he going to give me the opportunity to compete for a spot? If Enzo doesn't go, right, Real Madrid's, I think, still in the picture. PSG, maybe Bayern Munich, who sort of um, ramped up inquiries lately, supposedly. Not, I'm not an ITK person, so I don't know 100% for sure, but there's always that in the back of your mind if you're a young player, and it's completely understandable, completely reasonable, where you would say, look, I want to play. I might have to drop my level, and I'm not saying Man United is a drop because they finished third. They're in the Champions League. They're Manchester United, the biggest club in England. Shout out to my boy, shout out to my boy, Touchline Facts, biggest club in the world, pal. But I get it from him, and I get it from his camp, right? Do you want to play second fiddle one game a week next year plus domestic cups? Do you want to um, sit and just wait for an opportunity, right? I know it's nice and everybody says competition and players need to earn their spots, and 100% they definitely do. The old Chelsea definitely was like that, but kids nowadays are different. These kids don't want to wait. These kids do not want to um, sit around and hope that they're going to develop and be at a big club just for the sake of being at a big club. They want to play. They want to play now, right? 22 years old. You see guys around the world at 21, 22 making huge moves, playing in World Cups, playing in continental competitions like the Euros, CONCACAF Champion or CONMEBOL, Copa America, things like that. So these kids, man, they there's no messing around. They want to play, and they want to play now. They want their cake and they want to eat that shit too. So I'm conflicted, folks. Don't get me wrong. At the right price, I think I would definitely entertain a move. Like I said, 60 million and up. Definitely would entertain that and put it towards something else. Because believe me, you're gonna have to pay. I put a tweet out last night. Check out my Twitter, KGX to the Z. Um, Matthias Fernandez goes for 85. Alan Anderson goes for 115, 116. Tonali goes for close to 100. Adam Morton's not going for less than 90. Plus, he's English too in the league, 95, maybe 100 million with add-ons all in. Any midfielder worth a grain of salt that's not a prospect that you're not getting from France, you're not getting from a second-tier La Liga side, second-tier Bundesliga side, someone in Serie A, you're going to have to pay, and you're going to have to put him on big wages. Matthias Fernandez rumored to be on like 200 some K, Tonali like 250K. These folks that you're going to bring in, Adam Wharton's going to command 90 million feet at the Palace plus a good 175, right? Just like Enzo's probably looking around and is probably thinking, yo, these guys haven't matched half the work that I have on a international level, right? 2 trophies at Chelsea, World Cup, potentially 2 World Cups at like 25 if things go well for Argentina. They want to get paid. They want to get paid, and I'm not quite so sure that this wage structure that we're on suits an aspirational team that wants to win trophies and wants to win titles and compete for prems and things like that in Champions League. You can't do that on a budget these days, right? We've seen Diamande get priced out from Liverpool, pick PSG. Barcola's probably going to cost about 115, 120. So look, top talent that we'd have to bring in is going to cost it's going to cost a lot, or else you're going to have to get a development kid, another Andrey Santos, and you're going to have to wait a couple of years. And we don't have time to wait, man. These guys like Caicedo, Cole Palmer, and these folks, they got one eye open saying, look what's going on around us, man. Look what the market's saying. Look what these folks are getting paid. Look what they're competing for. Look at the clubs that they're going for. Chelsea need to get back into that stratosphere, and we need to start splashing that cash and paying these folks the wages that they should be on compared to their counterparts that a lot of Chelsea fans think are inferior players. So wrapping this up and bringing this back to Santos, it's going to be interesting to see, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Like I said, this isn't the first time that Man United have inquired about Santos. Didn't light the world on fire. Supposedly, and I don't know how true this is because I'm not plugged into inside Man United sources and things like that, but supposedly they're stalled talks with Ederson. So I thought the Ederson deal was done. I haven't seen the Here We Go from Fab, but I'll be honest with you, I also haven't been checking. And Ederson's at the World Cup. They got a big one coming up later today versus Norway. So I know Ederson, just like a lot of folks, are probably focused on the World Cup, and once their World Cup ends, then they'll sort their club futures out and things like that. But yeah, a nice little bit of drama to insert into an otherwise slow Sunday until these World Cup round of 16 games start to kick off. So, folks, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what if you'd move Santos on, and if so, what that number would be. But as always, appreciate everybody for locking in with your boy. Mash up those likes, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and you catch me at the next one. Peace.